and of the end of the world. The word coming, as used here, is not a verb in the continuous sense, but a verbal noun, which means arrival, presence, return, or advent. That's the proper term. If you go to the Hebrew and Greek lexicon or dictionary, the word coming is translated from the Greek word perusia, which means return, arrival, presence, or advent. To better appreciate this, the new translation of the Holy Bible that was first published in 1926 and reprinted in 1935 by James Moffat, otherwise called the Moffat translation, used the word arrival. Then the emphatic diaglots, translated in 1864 and published in 1942 by Benjamin Wilson, used the word presence. Then the Living Bible paraphrased, published in 1971, used the word return. So the words are used interchangeably, but the point is they ask for sign that will mark the arrival of Jesus Christ. To better appreciate this, let us now read the emphatic diaglot. Matthew chapter 24, verse 3, please.
And as he was sitting on the Mount of Olives,
as he was sitting on the Mount of Olives, yes,
the disciples came to him
privately saying, yes,
tell us, when these things will be.
When these things will be.
And what will be the sign of thy presence?
You hear that? What will be the sign of thy presence?
And of the consummation of the age.
And of the consummation of the age. This is the emphatic diaglot. Now read the Living Bible paraphrase.
When will this happen?
When will this happen?
The disciples asked him later.
The disciples asked him later.
As
Continue.
he sat on the slopes of the Mount of Olives.
As he sat on the slopes of the Mount of Olives. Continue, please.
What events will signal your return?
What events will signal your return?
And the end of the world.
And the end of the world. So the disciples did not ask for a sign that will precede the arrival of Christ. They asked for a sign that will mark the arrival, the presence, the return, or the advent of Jesus Christ. And Christ gave that sign. Read now verse 7 and 8, please.
For nation shall rise against nation.
These are the signs.
And kingdom against kingdom.
And kingdom against kingdom. This prophecy of Christ found fulfillment in the year 1914 to 1918. That was the First World War, a global conflict. Before 1914 to 1918, there have been several wars. Some of them lasted longer than the First World War itself. The First World War lasted for 4 years, 3 months, and 2 weeks, from July 28, 1914 to 11th November 1918. But there were other wars that took a longer time than the First World War itself. We have heard of the Crimean War, the Punic Wars, the Peloponnesian Wars, the Napoleonic Wars, the Roman-Persian Wars, the Crusade. For instance, the Roman-Persian Wars lasted for 921 years. The Crusades lasted for 197 years. These are wars fought before 1914, but in magnitude and extent, the First World War was unsurpassed. It's on record that 93% of the world's population took part in that war, both military and civilian. The war took a toll of many lives. Over 10 million people lost their lives. Then, over 20 million people were seriously injured. Read on, please.
And there shall be famine.
And there shall be famine. What is famine? Food shortage. When people don't see food to eat, according to the account or report by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, nearly 795 million persons out of the 7.3 billion people in the world are suffering from chronic undernourishment, all in fulfillment of the Bible prophecies. Continue, please.
And pestilences.
Diseases. The Spanish influenza that followed the First World War killed over 20 million people.